let's start.
Yeah.
So we have covered so far from P wave, BR interval, complex, ST, and I believe that we need to cover T wave, which is the last part of the ECG rhythm itself. So T wave. What's T wave? It represents the ventricular repolarization. It means the voltage of the membrane of the heart is going to be back again, as it is normal basic. And what's the normal variation? The normal height of the T wave is about 5 millimeter or less in limb leads, which is lead 1 and AVL and lead 2, 3, whatever. And in chest leads, it is supposed to be less than 10. Some authors, they speak about 15 small square, can be up to 15 small square, which is 3 big square. But normally we speak about 2 big square in height. Okay. This slide is not new. If you attended before, I usually use it in many lectures before, because it can help you simply define where I can find the T wave inverted or positive. The first lecture I gave, which you didn't attend, is the relation between the leads and the heart, and how you can guess the shape of the complex regarding the heart position. So I give them a simple statement about any wave or any electrical activity who goes towards the leads. It comes positive in the ECG, and any waves goes against or away from the lead, it is recorded as a negative wave. So by applying this, I usually will record the left ventricle. So this is the left ventricle. So V4 or 3, 5, 6 to left ventricle. The wave here goes to them or against them, in their direction or away from them. The wave goes in their direction. So they usually record a positive T wave, positive complex. V1 and V2 variable because they are away from the ventricle. They are V2 and V3, they are at the corner here. V1 is actually against that, so V1 can be negative, and we usually see it negative. V2 sometimes we see it negative, biphasic, whatever. Is that okay? If we come to the limb leads, EVR usually records the heart from this side, and the left ventricle is on that side. Wave is here, so expect the EVR to have T wave inversion because it is away from it. But lead 1 and lead 2 and the EVL, they are all at the direction of the left ventricle, so I expect it to be positive. AVF, lead 3, variable. Is that okay? It applies for all parts of the wave. How it comes, how I expect it, positive or negative. Depends on the lead and how the lead looks at the heart, from which direction. Is that okay? So simple again, it is upright in lead 1, 2, V4 to V6, as I told you earlier. Inverted in EVR, variable in lead 3, EVF, V1 and V2. T wave changes are often non-specific, and I have written to Paul and Marceau, this is a textbook of cardiologists, about interpreting T wave its own about ischemia, and it is a poor indicator for ischemia in its own. So T wave changes are often non-specific and should be interpreted always in the light of other abnormalities like ST segment or whatever, and the clinical finding. This is how it looks normally. So as we agreed before, it is inverted in EVR, positive in V2, 3, V4, 5, variable here accordingly, and variable here if it is little bit flat here in lead 3, but positive in V2 and V1. The amplitude in limb leads, which is here, is supposed to be less than 1 big square, which obviously it is. and in chest leads can be up to big squares, which is actually on. What abnormality you can see in T-wave? T-wave inversions in lead 1, 2, and lateral leads is always abnormal because I know it's supposed to be positive. As we discussed earlier, lead 1 and 2, V4, 5, and 6, they are always looking at the heart. It's the same direction of the wave, so it's supposed to be positive, and any negative T-wave in that lead is abnormal. There is no doubt about it. T-wave inversion with abnormal curving of the ST, we have taken it just earlier, horizontal or down sloping ST segment depression more than 1 millimeter define ischemia. So in ST segment depression, horizontal or down sloping, it's an ischemia together with the T-wave. So we always interpret T-wave with ST or some other issues. We don't interpret T-wave alone. As we discussed earlier, any T-wave inversion associated with less than 1 small square of ST segment is non-specific. It's a very poor indicator for ischemia. You can tell it is T-wave inversion, it is ischemia. You cannot tell this. It is abnormal, we need to see, but we need to put something together to come out with a specific diagnosis. Diffuse deep T-wave inversion in absence of ST segment depression or elevation, it is not diagnostic in some occasions, but some occasions I'll show you. But what might be the cause of it? So T-wave inversion could be ischemia, could be post-MI, because evolving stage of MI it goes to ST T-wave inversion. Bundle branch block, we have seen it just last session. Steering pattern in hypertrophy, as we saw it in last session. Post SVT or VTAC due to the demand. Myocarditis can be there even in pericarditis in evolving stage. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Pericarditis, evolving stage of pericarditis, and some electrolyte imbalance, and we know that hypokalemia can affect, hyperkalemia can affect even the how it is told, and so on. Can be a normal variant. T-wave, yeah, can be. It is T-wave inversion also can be a normal finding in children. You are interested in children. Have you seen ECG of children?
Yeah, but they very like there's lots of abnormalities, but I always get told on peds not to worry about them.
Yes. Lots of you can find tall R wave,
yeah.
Inverted T-wave in precordial leads, tall R wave in V1, V2, V3, inverted T-wave in V1, V2, V3, which is normal to children. So it is a normal variant occurring in children, and it could be in young adults or adolescents as a persistent of a children pattern of ECG. The previous examples I have discussed before in previous sessions, I'm not going to repeat them again. Pericarditis also I have discussed it before, so I'm going only to show the ECG of these two. Okay. So it is a normal finding in children. You can find a T-wave inversion with tall R waves in V1, V2, V3, which is normal in children. We don't get panic if we see that. And in adolescents, it might be persistent. So maybe the R wave started to be shorter than children one, but still the T-wave can be there. And sometimes it can be a T-wave inversion V1, V2, V3, even in adults. Can persist, especially in females. Can be a normal finding. T-wave inversion V1, V2, V3 can be still normal finding in women. Okay, which is normal variant as I told. But the most important is not the inverted T-wave, is the tall T-wave in fact. So it could be normal. What's happening? It could be normal variant in V2 to V5. The base of this T is wide. So we can find a tall, and I told that some authors they accept tall T-wave to 3 big squares. But the base of the T-wave is supposed to be wide, not narrow. You got it? So it is not tall with narrow base, it is wide base. So if it is a criteria having a wide base with tall to wave, could still be normal. In severe myocardial ischemia or acute MI, the first change to the ST or T wave is to have a hyperacute T wave. And sometimes we call it subtle changes in ECG. And this is a very early stage. It's not an easy job to pick it because it will be there for a few minutes, then ST segment will develop. Maybe in my life I have seen it 3-4 times maximum. Hyperkalemia, but here is a different. The base of the T wave is narrow. That's what is important between it and normal variant. In left ventricular overload, like the strain, but early in the stage, it could be elevated. In CVA, sometimes of CVA present with ECG changes. Sometimes hemorrhage come with depression, with inversion, and sometimes with hypertent or higher T wave. So sometimes cerebrovascular accident cause an ST changes. Okay. So let's get an example of tall. It is big T wave. It is a narrow base and tent. So big one. So we know it of hyperkalemia. Hyperacute. It is the MI picture. So can you see the ST? The T wave, can you see that? How it came? The ST even segment disappeared, maybe, and it came direct to the T wave. It is how it looks like the hyperacute T wave. It is the initial changes of MI. This is patient after a few minutes repeats the ECG, you will find classic ST segment elevation. That's why when we see the ST segment elevation of MI, we find the convex elevation of the ST with distortion of the T wave, because T wave has been fused with the ST segment in this stage, and the elevation will come this way, and you cannot find the T wave anymore. You cannot define where is the T wave starts and ends in MI. So start by this shape, and then coving start to happen, and elevation will be very clear. Biphasic T wave. We have discussed about the inversion and hyperacute or tall T wave. Now biphasic. Biphasic, it means going down or up in the same lead. Okay. So we have two types of biphasic T wave, either ischemic cause or hypokalemic cause. How can differentiate between both of them? The T wave due to hypokalemia start by down, then up. So this way. So this is the ST. T wave goes down, then goes up. So it is biphasic, but negative first, then positive. So it is a hypokalemic changes. But the ischemic changes goes up first, then goes down second. So positive, then negative. Is that clear? So negative, then positive, we speak about hypokalemia, but positive, then negative, we speak about ischemia. It has any specific name? It has a specific name, which is going to be in the second slide. Williams syndrome. Have you heard about? Not yet. Williams syndrome has actually two types. It is a pattern of inverted or biphasic T wave in V2 and V3. Type A is a biphasic T wave with the initial deflection positive, as I discussed earlier, and the terminal deflection negative. And it is 25 of the cases of Williams syndrome present with this type A. I'll show you one ECG, which is I showed it earlier, the same one. Type B is this T wave are deep inverted and symmetrical inverted, and this is some 75% of the cases. I will show an example to explain more. It is type A, it is just the same picture. So type 8 is V2, V1, or maybe V3, having a positive deflection, the negative deflection, in context with chest pain or whatever criteria. So we define it as Welling syndrome. What's the significance of Welling syndrome? It is left anterior descending occlusion, and it could be up to 90% occlusion. Okay. Okay. So it is not safe. No? Type B, same leads by inverted. Can you see it is like letter V? What's significance here? Two limbs are equal and they are the same. Not like the strain pattern. One is obtuse and other one is an acute, and no, they are the same depth, going the same like V. So that one is the same like one in length, in shape, in even descending pattern. They are the same. It's different from any other T-wave inversion. So that called type B of Welling syndrome. Same significance of left anterior descending. Okay, it was quick. Okay, so any question to that level? No. So Welling syndrome again is important. Is either biphasic T-wave, which become positive then negative in V2, V1, in context with chest pain. It's significant for left anterior descending occlusion. This patient, he need to go for BCI or whatever. He cannot go home. The other type is type B, with a deep inverted equal limbs, with no difference in descending and ascending limb. No difference, same pattern, and they like letter V in V1 and V2, and they are very significant for Welling syndrome type B, and same significance of left anterior descending as well. Is that okay? Have you heard about D. Winter syndrome? I will give it next lecture. It's just an attraction. Okay. So any question from anyone? You usually tell questions. Thank you anyway. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.